Forget everything you think you know about what attracts avoidants. They're not drawn to the conventionally beautiful, the successful, or the impressive. They're psychologically wired to seek out people who can unconsciously trigger their deepest emotional wounds and recreate the exact conditions that taught them love equals pain. It's not about finding someone attractive. It's about finding someone who feels dangerously familiar. The trauma magnet psychology. Avoidants are unconsciously drawn to people whose energy signature matches their original emotional injuries. They're not seeking healthy, stable partners who would provide security and consistency. Their wounded psyche actively seeks out people who will recreate the chaotic, unpredictable, or emotionally unavailable dynamics that shaped their earliest understanding of love. Their attraction system operates like a homing device for dysfunction. They'll walk past dozens of emotionally healthy, conventionally attractive people to zoom in on the one person whose psychological wounds create the perfect storm of familiarity and danger. This isn't conscious choice. It's trauma bonding disguised as chemistry. The people who can stimulate their emotional wounds feel electric and irresistible because they're activating the same neural pathways that were carved out by their original trauma. What feels like passion is actually their nervous system recognizing a familiar threat and responding with the hypervigilance they learned to associate with love. The wound-to-wound recognition system. Avoidants have an uncanny ability to identify people whose emotional wounds complement their own in destructive ways. They're not attracted to emotional health. They're attracted to emotional chaos that mirrors their internal landscape. Someone with abandonment wounds will trigger their fear of engulfment, while someone with engulfment wounds will trigger their fear of abandonment. This wound recognition creates instant chemistry because both people are unconsciously agreeing to recreate each other's trauma patterns. The avoidant gets to feel overwhelmed and justified in pulling away, while their partner gets to feel abandoned and validated in pursuing harder. It's a perfect psychological dance of mutual wound activation. The attraction feels intense and meaningful because both people are unconsciously saying, "I see your damage and I can help you stay broken." What seems like deep connection is actually deep dysfunction, recognizing itself in another person and feeling relief at not having to heal or grow. The emotional unavailability radar. Avoidants are specifically attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable in different ways than they are. They might be drawn to someone who's physically present but emotionally distant, or someone who's emotionally expressive but unable to commit. The key is finding someone whose unavailability style creates the perfect push-pull dynamic. Their attraction system is calibrated to detect people who will provide just enough connection to keep them interested, but never enough to feel truly safe or satisfied. They need someone who will chase them, but not catch them, love them, but not smother them, stay, but not get too close. Emotionally healthy, available people feel boring or suffocating to avoidants because they don't provide the adrenaline rush of uncertainty and emotional danger. Stable love feels foreign and threatening to someone whose nervous system equates chaos with passion and unpredictability with excitement. The familiar pain addiction. Avoidants become addicted to the specific type of emotional pain they learn to associate with love in childhood, whether it was inconsistent attention, emotional neglect, or overwhelming engulfment. They unconsciously seek partners who can recreate that exact flavor of suffering because it feels like home. The familiar pain provides a sick sense of comfort because it's predictable and manageable. They know how to navigate emotional chaos, but they have no idea how to handle consistent love and support. Their attraction system steers them toward what feels familiar rather than what would actually heal them. This pain addiction explains why they can't seem to appreciate partners who treat them well, while obsessing over partners who treat them poorly. Healthy treatment feels foreign and threatening, while dysfunctional treatment feels like coming home after a long journey. The control through chaos strategy. Avoidants are attracted to people whose emotional instability gives them an excuse to maintain distance and control. When their partner is chaotic, needy, or emotionally dysregulated, the avoidant gets to be the stable, rational one who needs space to maintain their sanity. This dynamic allows them to feel superior while avoiding genuine intimacy. They unconsciously choose partners whose issues are more obvious and dramatic than their own, allowing them to focus on their partner's problems rather than examining their own emotional unavailability. The partner's wounds become a convenient distraction from their own healing work. This strategy provides perfect justification for their avoidant behavior. They can point to their partner's neediness, emotional instability, or dramatic reactions as proof that emotional people are exhausting and that distance is necessary for self-preservation. The rescue fantasy attraction. Many avoidants are unconsciously drawn to people who appear to need saving because it allows them to feel valuable and important without requiring emotional vulnerability. They can provide practical help, advice, or support while maintaining emotional distance and feeling like the strong, capable partner. The rescue dynamic provides a sense of purpose and control that feels safer than mutual vulnerability and interdependence. They can care from a distance, feeling needed and important without risking their own emotional safety or having to reveal their own wounds and needs. This attraction to people who need rescuing also provides an built-in excuse for the relationship's failure. When the wounded partner doesn't magically heal or becomes more demanding, the avoidant can leave feeling like they tried their best, but their partner was just too damaged to save. The intensity over intimacy preference. Avoidants confuse intensity with intimacy and drama with passion. They're drawn to people who can provide high emotional intensity through conflict, chaos, or dramatic ups and downs because this feels more engaging than the steady warmth of healthy love. The constant stimulation of their emotional wounds creates an adrenaline-fueled connection that feels addictive and meaningful. They mistake the nervous system activation of trauma bonding for deep connection and the exhaustion of emotional chaos for profound passion. Healthy relationships feel boring by comparison because they don't provide the constant stimulation and emotional danger that avoidants have learned to associate with meaningful connection. Peace feels empty when you've been conditioned to equate chaos with love. The self-sabotage enabler system. Avoidants are unconsciously attracted to people who will help them sabotage the relationship in ways that confirm their belief that love is dangerous and temporary. They choose partners whose wounds will inevitably clash with their own, creating conditions guaranteed to recreate their original trauma patterns. This attraction to self-sabotage enablers provides a sense of safety through predictable failure. They can enter relationships knowing they'll eventually implode, which feels more manageable than risking genuine success and the vulnerability that would require. The brutal truth is that avoidants are attracted to emotional dysfunction because health feels threatening to their wounded psychology. They need partners who will help them stay broken, rather than partners who might actually heal them.